Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, left behind more than just revolutionary products. He left a legacy of timeless lessons about money, business, and long-term wealth building. Today, we'll explore 7 powerful financial lessons from his life that can guide you to build success with clarity, focus, and resilience. First, invest in quality to command premium prices. Steve believed that customers would always pay more for products that exceeded expectations. His obsession with craftsmanship, design, and user experience allowed Apple to charge 2 to 3 times more than competitors, while creating unmatched customer loyalty. By prioritizing quality, he built a brand that justified high margins and consistent profits. Jobs once said, "Be a yardstick of quality." Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. For example, he insisted that even the inside of Apple computers, parts customers would never see, had to be beautiful and well-designed. This philosophy built a reputation that let Apple dominate markets for decades. For entrepreneurs, this lesson is clear. Short-term savings by cutting quality often erode long-term profitability. Second, focus on fewer products to maximize profitability and operational efficiency. When Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the company was scattered with dozens of underperforming products. He famously drew a simple 4-quadrant chart and decided Apple would focus on just 4 core offerings: consumer desktop, consumer portable, professional desktop, and professional portable. This radical simplification reduced costs, sharpened marketing strategies, and ensured every dollar invested went into products with the highest potential returns. Even as Apple grew into a trillion-dollar company, this principle remained at its core. Fewer, better products meant more impact, higher margins, and clearer branding, all key to financial success. Third, take calculated risks to diversify income streams. After leaving Apple, Jobs launched Next, a computer company that pushed the boundaries of software design, and acquired Pixar, a struggling animation studio. Pixar eventually revolutionized animated films, producing hits like Toy Story and becoming a billion-dollar powerhouse. Meanwhile, Next Software became the foundation for future Apple operating systems. These ventures expanded Jobs' business portfolio and reduced dependency on one income source. Diversification, when done thoughtfully, protects wealth and creates multiple avenues for financial growth. Investors and entrepreneurs can learn here that risk, when paired with deep research and passion, can lead to extraordinary rewards. Fourth, build loyal and talented teams to scale productivity and innovation. Jobs understood that wealth creation was never a solo journey. He surrounded himself with brilliant designers like Johnny Ive, visionary marketers like Phil Schiller, and disciplined engineers who could turn his ambitious ideas into reality. Investing in people amplifies your capacity to deliver quality, reduces inefficiencies, and compounds financial returns over time. Apple's success was as much about its culture of excellence as it was about its products. For any business, hiring, retaining, and nurturing top talent is one of the smartest financial moves possible. A great team turns vision into scalable profit. Fifth, think long-term rather than chasing short-term profits. Jobs consistently delayed immediate earnings to invest heavily in research and development, design innovation, and supply chain mastery. The iPod took years to perfect, the iPhone revolutionized communication after a decade of groundwork, and the iPad redefined computing thanks to long-term commitment. This patience created products that dominated their industries for years, producing massive, sustained revenue streams. In personal finance or business, prioritizing long-term value creation over short-term cash grabs builds enduring wealth and resilience against market shifts. Sixth, master storytelling to increase perceived value and drive premium sales. Jobs didn't just launch products. He crafted narratives that made complex technology feel human, essential, and aspirational. His iconic product launches combined suspense, simplicity, and emotion to create unforgettable customer experiences. Storytelling elevated Apple's offerings beyond mere gadgets. It positioned them as status symbols and cultural touchstones. For entrepreneurs and investors, this lesson is clear. How you communicate the value of your product or service can determine whether you sell for $100 or $1,000. Storytelling builds trust, differentiates you from competitors, and allows you to command higher prices and stronger brand loyalty. As Jobs once said, the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. Seventh, learn from failure to reduce future losses and sharpen financial judgment. Jobs' failures, such as getting fired from Apple, the commercial flop of the Lisa computer, and early struggles with Next, humbled him and made him a wiser leader. Rather than avoiding risk or becoming paralyzed by past mistakes, he used these setbacks to refine his strategies and improve his decision-making. He once reflected, "I didn't see it then, but getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." Viewing failure as tuition rather than defeat transforms it into one of the most powerful wealth-building tools. It sharpens risk assessment, improves resilience, and helps avoid costly repeat mistakes. To summarize, here are Steve Jobs' 7 explicit money lessons that anyone can apply. 1. Invest in quality to justify higher prices and long-term brand loyalty. 2. Focus on fewer, high-impact products to amplify returns and streamline operations. 3. Diversify income streams through calculated risks in emerging opportunities. 4. Build talented, loyal teams to multiply productivity and innovation. 5. Think long-term to create sustainable wealth that compounds over decades. 6. Master storytelling to enhance perceived value and accelerate sales growth. And 7. Embrace failure as a tool to strengthen financial judgment and reduce future losses. By applying these 7 principles consistently, Steve Jobs built one of the most valuable companies in history. You can apply the same strategies, whether you're building a business, growing investments, or improving personal finances. Wealth follows vision, discipline, patience, and relentless focus on excellence. Steve Jobs showed us that those who prioritize quality, take smart risks, and think bigger can not only change industries but also build fortunes that last. Thank you for watching. If you found these lessons valuable, consider subscribing to this channel for more insights on entrepreneurship, wealth building, and financial success inspired by the world's greatest business minds.